Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered why a cup of coffee costs like four, $5 or $6 when it takes just $1 or $2 to make? I did. A few days ago when I was at a cafe, I had the same question. At first I thought they probably make a lot of profit because they're like selling a coffee for like three times more than the original price. So they're having a lot of profit, right? Then I looked a bit deep. Then I thought like the rent, the staff cost is so expensive in Sydney. So do they really make profit? The whole thing was so confusing. And after a bit research, I was even confused more like how a business would make a profit, how many cups of coffee someone have to sell to make profit. If I just open a business, what should be the price of my coffee? Should I sell it like $3? It would be the cheapest, but I would make so little profit. Like income, the revenue would be so little. Would I make the profit at the end of the day? I was so confused. But later I remembered in one of our class in BUSA 2020, we were taught the profit modeling and break-even analysis. This is exactly what I needed. So, this is Tofik, and today I'm going to talk about the profit modeling and break-even analysis. So, let me go through everything I will talk about in shortcuts so it would be easier to follow everything. At first, I will talk about the building blocks, understanding revenue and total cost, which is made of fixed cost and variable cost, then calculating profit, the power of contribution margin, and we're going to find some tipping point, which is known as break-even point, planning for success, target profit analysis, and we at the end will do some scenario testing with some further consideration. So in for this video we have made a simple cafe named the Daily Grind Cafe, and to make everything simple we are making them selling just simple latte, nothing else. So let's talk about what is the building blocks, how a profit works. Like, what is the profit? Profit is simple. Profit is when you have the revenue and you subtract total cost. Total cost is made of two costs, which is fixed cost, variable cost. This is total cost, and you have your revenue. If you have more revenue, then you have profit. If you have your total cost is more, then you have loss. Simple. So what is revenue? In this business model, we are selling just latte. So our revenue would be the number of latte we sell multiplied by the latte's price. And to make things simple, we are making the latte's price $5. For example, if they sell 100 lattes, the revenue would be $5 into 100, $500. Simple. So let's talk about cost. The first type of cost is variable cost, which depends on the unit we sell. So if there is a there is a cost for each unit. We have given some variable cost list here. This like coffee beans, milk, cup, lid, sleeve, sugar, napkin, payment fee, everything, and the total variable cost here we are taking is $1.5. And there is fixed cost. Fixed cost is like rent, staff, utilities, insurance, marketing, depreciation, everything which is like fixed. These are usually the big numbers, so it doesn't matter how many cup of coffee you sell, this amount is fixed. So the rent is like here $3,000, it is fixed. If you even sell 3 cup of coffee or 30, the rent is same. So these are fixed cost, and combining both variable cost and fixed cost is our total cost. We have our Excel, we have the same thing uploaded on Excel. You can see the unit here is 100. For example, we are selling 100 lattes at first, and the price of one latte is $5 for now, so the total revenue is $500. These all are our variable cost, and these all are our fixed cost. Total fixed cost, total variable cost, and total variable cost, total fixed cost, and here is our total cost. And if we subtract this total cost from our revenue, this is our total revenue, we have loss. Because it's on negative, we are having a loss if we sell just 100 lattes. But if we sell 1000 lattes, we are still on loss. What if we sell 10,000 lattes? We are having profit. So if we keep selling more lattes, we will have profit. But what is the point when we start making profit? That is called break-even point. So here the basic profit calculation, if we sell 2000 lattes, let's assume we are selling 2000 lattes, you can see the profit is 1000, so we are close to the break-even point. There should be a way to measure the break-even point simply, right? There is actually two ways. At first, let's look at the scenario. If we sell 2000 lattes, we have 10,000 of revenue, where the variable cost is 3000, fixed cost is 6000, total cost is 9000, and 10,000 minus 9000, we are having 1000 of profit. Why we should, before we talk about the break-even point, let's talk about why should we model. Like, why should I do all this? Should I just set a price like $10 and let's run the business? Should I do that? That would be so risky and so uncontrollable. In business perspective, you should measure everything you can. So let's see the profits of modeling. We understand the business viability. We make informed, precise decision. We are not just making random decision like I'm selling my coffee at $3. At end of the day, I'm seeing my cost is so massive, but I just made little revenue. It won't make sense. So we are making informed, precise decision by doing model profit. Then we have a plan for growth. We have identified crucial success factors. If we do this, we would know where to change things and just modify to make the success ours. And we have secure funding. Again, our example is the Daily Grind Cafe, a small coffee shop. And obviously, to make profit, your revenue should be more than total cost. One way of finding the break-even point is first finding the contribution margin. So our latte cost per latte is $1.5, which is the variable cost. If we just subtract from the selling price, which is $5, we have $3.5, which is contribution margin. Every latte I sell, I have $3.5 upside to my business. So if I just divide the whole total cost by this 3.5, we have the number of latte we have to sell to get all our cost. Here we can see it is 1715 latte. So the 15th latte, 1715 latte would bring us some profit. There is another cool way to find this. Let's go back to our Excel sheet. If we go to the data and what if analysis, there is one function called goal seek. This function let you find a specific value for one section by changing another section. So for example, the first thing we would change is what cell we want to change and get a specific value. For this, we are trying to find zero profit, like where our business doesn't bring any loss and it doesn't bring any profit either. That is called the break even point. So this is called this profit, we are setting this as 0. And what we are changing, we are changing the unit we sell. So we are trying to find how many lattes we have to sell to get back all our cost, and after that all would be the profit. If we just set, we can see it is 1714.258. So we have to sell 1715 latte to cross the break even point. The break even point is in between 14 and 15, so the 1715th latte would bring us profit. After every latte we sell, we would bring some profit. So let's talk about target profit. We just don't wanna get into the break even point. We wanna make some profit as well. How would we do that? For example, if we just said like we wanna make $4,000 of profit, so we would add this with the fixed cost, which is like 6,000, and 4,000 is 10,000, and if we divide that by 3.5, which is approximately 2,858 lattes, so our revenue would be this. So our profit would be 4,000 if we sell that many lattes, and the total revenue would be 14,290. We can do that also in our goal seek. Let's do that again. Let's go to data, what if analysis, goal seek. We need 4,000 profit, so we are setting the profit section, but in this time instead of 0 we are setting 4,000 because we are not looking for the break even point, we are finding the 4,000 profit margin. And we are changing obviously the unit section, and see 2,857 point something, which is 58, and we have the result. We can also do the price change. What if we change the price of the latte to $5.5? We still have the whole thing. We would need less sales to cover our target profit, but the risk is we would have lower demand. So we have to change everything bit by bit to get a point where we are making profit. Obviously, you have to look how many units we are selling normally. So we can change the price. Another scenario is the variable cost raises. If the variable cost raises, we would make less, we would have less contribution margin per latte, so we can increase the cost of latte or try to sell more lattes. Either way it would work. So we need more sales, and cost control is crucial because nobody's gonna buy a latte for $10 if everyone is selling for 5. Again, the fixed cost can also increase. It's the same thing, we have to increase the latte sale or do something to increase the price so the contribution margin is higher. And this is like the main idea. So there is some more advanced consideration and limitation. For example, this is like very simple idea about a business where we're just selling one latte. If a business is selling so many items, there we need to find the weighted contribution margin. Then if we have high fixed costs, there will be high leverage, and we're just assuming the price is constant. The market get ups and downs every time, so the price isn't cost is same way, it doesn't go same way. So those are some limitation of this method. There is some things to say at the end, like profit modeling is essential for planning and strategy because it gives us a basic idea of our cost and profit and how much we need to sell, how much we need to make at the end of the day to make profit or hit our target profit. Use break-even and CM to guide decision. Yeah, that's what the whole thing was about. We have to find the break-even point to know how many items we have to sell to actually touch the profit margin. And if we know the contribution margin, we know how much money it is bringing us every item when we sell. So yeah, that was all for today. If you have any question, you can say it on the comment section. I will try to reply, and that was it.